What's going on, everyone? Happy New Year. This is going to be a continuation, a part 2 video from a video I did for you guys, I want to say a week and a half ago, talking about discontinued fragrances. It's a very sensitive topic, among us frag heads. We always want to know how come fragrances get discontinued, why they get reformulated. And I did talk a little bit about all of the above in the video I did previous to this one. It's going to pop up here, so you guys want to check it out, go check it out. I go in depth in about the most common and normal situations why fragrances get axed, get into the chopping board. Let's go on with these picks. Let's kick things off with the first pick here. So this one, I have to be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised when I heard that this was going to be axed. Reason being, I thought this was the number one selling fragrance from this brand, and I thought, I guess I thought wrong, that it was one of the, if not the most popular from this particular house. And of course, I'm talking about Hugo Boss Bottle number 6. The iteration here is the intense version, which is being discontinued. They're going to do away, I believe, with both EDT and EDP. I think the EDT has already been discontinued, and the Eau de Parfum is now being discontinued. So, reason being, this is, for those of you that don't know, this is a great fragrance. It was a signature scent for me when I was in college. It is just that good, guys. This is basically, it's so good. It's this, fruity apple pie, woodsy, a little bit spicy. There's a ton of cinnamon here. Great for fall and winter. I've talked about this fragrance immensely. Hugo Boss Bottle Intense was a fragrance that I featured many times in top videos, whether it be for college student, high school students, or just for the seasons like top fall, affordable, whatever. It is just a great scent. It's just simple as that. And it's a shame it's being axed. The reason why I think this is being, put on the chopping board, as it were, I think Boss is really trying to focus on the most recent releases. Perhaps the Scent collection is one that they're really trying to gear their attentions to. And of course, the latest iteration of this collection, which I reviewed for you guys, which is Hugo Boss Bottled Parfum, Hugo Boss Parfum, which is, to be honest with you, quite a good fragrance, but I don't think it's as good as this, but it is actually very nice. It's a little bit more powdery, it's a little bit more intensified, a little creamier, but it is a good iteration of this fragrance. I think perhaps one of the best flankers they've released over the past few years. I would say in the top 3 best flankers of this particular line. But needless to say, Intense is being discontinued, so if you do like this fragrance, I would highly suggest you guys get a few bottles if you can. You could still find it, still readily available. At the moment I'm shooting this, I was able to find this at a ton of different places. I will link, of course, where I got mine, so if you do want to get yours, you can. But I would not wait too long, because I think within the next year or two, this is going to be extremely hard to find. It's going to be very expensive once it becomes totally gone. So, Boss Bottled Hugo Boss Intense, Boss Bottled Intense, one of the discontinued fragrances that really surprised me. Up next, we have a fragrance here talking about surprising. I guess I'm not as surprised with this particular one because it's rather an aged or old scent. I do love the fragrance. It's another one that I've actually mentioned many times on BBB, Big Bang for Your Buck fragrances, whether it be affordable options for the fall and winter. You can even wear this all year round because it's quite versatile. It's really a barbershop-y type of a scent. It's really a fragrance that was revolving the note of lavender, so it has the barbershop / fougere kind of a feel to it, but it was really spicy and oriental kind of a take on it, which I really, really adore. From the house of Davidoff, this is from 1986, originally released. This is Xeno Davidoff Xeno. Now, this is already a reformulated, composition. There is an original bottle of this fragrance, which thank God I own. But what this is, like I said, it's a creamy, a sandalwood, spicy cinnamon, moss, lavender fougere that is just unbelievable. It's a powerful type of a scent, but it also has this really nice coziness about it with that lavender, that spiciness with the cinnamon. It is just a great fragrance, guys. You could find this very cheaply. I think I bought this one here for less than 30 bucks. Now that it's been axed, I would imagine that it's going to start to phase out of the market, meaning it's going to be harder and harder to find over the next few months to a year. So I would highly suggest, even though this is not one of their top selling fragrances, no one is knocking down doors to pick this up. So I don't think you have to rush too fast to get it, but as I'm recording this and people are getting more knowledge of that this is being discontinued, chances are that people will, hawk this fragrance, get a whole bunch, and then start to transition into the gray market, if you will. And I'd say within a year or so, you're going to find this fragrance no longer a cheapie. It's going to start to fetch a pretty penny. For those of you watching this now in 2021, you might have never heard of this fragrance, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you like something that has a little bit of an old school facet, but it's really timeless, this is a great one to check out. And I would say get it now before it gets too expensive, if you care for this type of a scent. And by the way, just to give you guys a point of reference here of something that you might enjoy, if you can't no longer find this, but you like this scent profile, a fragrance or two that I would, suggest you guys check out would be Gravitas Pour Homme from Naughton and Wilson from our own Mr. Smelly 77, or Beau de Jour from Tom Ford's signature line. Now, it used to be the Private Blends collection. Now it's in the signature line. Both of those fragrances share kind of similarities to Xeno from Davidoff. So good options to keep in mind. L'Oreal continues to purchase a lot of different fragrance brands. In particular, they have, I think, sometime around spring last year, they bought out Mugler and the rights to Azzaro fragrances from Clarins. So this particular fragrances, I'm going to tell you right now, they are being phased out as we speak. Some of the fragrances within this collection are still available, but who knows what's going to happen next. As I understand, Mugler is going through a process now of revamping and restructuring, so L'Oreal is looking to put a lot of those A-man fragrances in the chopping board. So I would say get these fragrances before they are long gone. I'm talking about, you guys know Ultra Zest has been discontinued. It's really hard to find now. It's fetching a very, very pretty penny. Crypto Mint is said to be discontinued over the next few months, so keep your eyes out for that. But I know for a fact these two have now been announced that they're going to be gone. Mugler's Pure Coffee, which was discontinued for a while, came back, but now it's being phased out. And of course, Pure Wood is also in the chopping block here. Guys, if you like these fragrances, if you want to get your collection of Mugler colognes, if you're missing a couple of them, like myself, thank goodness at this point I have them all, but for the longest time I was always missing one or two. I do have the whole collection now. So if you do enjoy the Mugler A-Man DNA and you want something that perhaps a lot of coffee in it, has this really nice gourmand latte kind of a vibe, or if you want Pure Wood, which is a really nice spicy woody fragrance, I would suggest, guys, get these two fragrances right now. They're still out there. I think Pure Wood is probably going to be a little harder to find, but perhaps you can still find these at the Mugler website, muglerusa.com. But I'm telling you right now, as the months progress and as we go into the year of 2021, these are going to get harder and harder to find. And of course, the prices will rise. So if you do enjoy these fragrances, if you have them in your collection, you want to get further, backup bottles, this would be the time. Next fragrance here comes from the house of Paco Rabanne from the 1 Million line. Perhaps I would say this is my favorite, for sure, guys. This is my favorite flanker ever of the 1 Million. I do enjoy the fragrance 1 Million. It has been heavily reformulated over the past, 5 years or so. Right now, 1 Million, the original EDT, is probably a third of the power that fragrance once had, but it's still a great fragrance. I have a lot of memories attached to that fragrance. I do enjoy, but this one in particular, a more mature, heavy, spicy tobacco scent, guys. Perhaps the reason why this is being discontinued is because it wasn't as popular as the original 1 Million. Of course, there were two more flankers that I think are doing really well right now, which is 1 Million Lucky, which gets really hyped up here in the fragrance community, and the latest release of 1 Million Parfum Edition from 2020, which has really made some strong strides as far as sales goes. Now, I know people in the industry that tells me that this particular fragrance here is now going to be phased out of the 1 Million line, and this is, of course, 1 Million Privé, guys. It is my favorite, released in 2015. I have a full review on this fragrance. I'll pop it up here for you guys. This is an outstanding, spicy, it's almost boozy, guys. It's got this cognac, tobacco, spiciness, a ton of cinnamon. If you like, it is just, I'm telling you guys, this is an outstanding fragrance. I am going to get a couple backup bottles because it is my favorite. It always makes my top winter and fall designers. It did this year again. So, and it's set to make my list for next year in the top 5 at least. This stuff is just outstanding. I'm happy to have this in my collection. I love wearing this stuff. Always gets me positive attention. It smells amazing. If you like spicy tobacco, heavy cinnamon, creamy, just inviting, elegant, this stuff here will not let you down. It's in the same genre as your fragrances like Wajan or Herod. It's going to be in the same vein of those particular fragrances that has the ambery tobacco dry down. Just one word to summarize this fragrance: stunner. If you guys want to pick a bottle of this, this would be the time, because like I said, it's being phased out of the collection. And this is one, guys, that I'm telling you, from this list, I think it's going to be one that's going to fetch a very strong penny in the gray market. So guys, get it before it's gone. 1 million privé. This next one here is perhaps the one that makes me most upset, because it's going to be not one, not two, but 3 fragrances being discontinued from one particular brand. Now, this particular brand is like refined, high-end clothing line that really never focused on fragrance. I think back in 2016, they released these fragrances, but 4 years later, we're in 2021, almost 5 years, they are gone. If you go to their website, you can't find, I think you can only find one of the 3 right now. And on the gray market, it's getting really hard to find, and the prices on these are really climbing right now when it comes to eBay or Amazon or gray market altogether, or Facebook groups. It's getting harder and harder to find, and I think this is going to be one that, in my opinion, it's going to have a cult following, me being one of them. I absolutely love the brand. The brand I'm talking about is Robert Graham. Great, a little flamboyant on the clothing line. But when it came to the fragrances, guys, I think they were onto a great thing, but I think perhaps they failed as far as marketing and engaging in the social medias these days. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram are a must if you want to succeed in today's world. And unfortunately, they didn't do it. You never saw anything or anybody talking about these fragrances. I only saw maybe a handful of reviewers talking about it. I was one of them. I was, an advocate of the brand. Of course, never received a penny from them. Just loved the fragrances from get-go. And of course, I'm talking about the Robert Graham collection, and in particular, my favorite that I always made my top list were these 2 right here, guys. One of my favorites was this one right here. Always made my top, winter and fall lists. This is Fortitude, which is a boozy cognac tobacco fragrance. And of course, this incredible coffee gourmand fragrance here, which is Valor, an outstanding fragrance. Again, always made my top fall and winter pickups, for my top, picks. And of course, there's a third one here to this collection, and that is called Courage. Now, Courage is going to be an aromatic, citrus aromatic fragrance, which has this really amazing, boozy gin and tonic kind of a vibe to it. It's just amazing. Reminds me of Luministe from Frapon. So again, a great collection, guys. A damn shame. That is one thing to say about this collection. It's being axed, getting really hard to find right now as it stands. As I'm filming this video, I was actually trying to find some backup bottles, and there are well over the $125 to $150 mark for these 2 right here. Perhaps Courage you can still find for a cheaper price. I think it's the only one that you can still find at the website, robertgraham.com. I would say right now, guys, if you have any thoughts about ever trying this or having a bottle, do it now, because I think within the next year or 2, these are going to be in the $200 to $300 mark. Again, there's going to be a cult following. These 2 are absolutely stunning fragrances. If you have never tried it, it's a shame, because I did talk about these fragrances over the past 4 years, and I'm sure you had plenty of chances to get them, as Fragrance by Say always had these in stock. Now, not so much. So, real quick here, a quick take here on this particular video. Part 2 is, again, guys, if you hear something is going to be phased out or discontinued and you truly like it, don't just buy into the hype. But if you truly, I'd say try the fragrance for one, to make sure you do enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, get it before it's too late. I've myself been guilty of waiting a little too long sometimes for a fragrance that's being discontinued. And then when I want to get it, I end up having to pay 3-4 times more than the fragrance is worth. So, as always, guys, in life, anything is worth what someone is willing to pay for. We've seen in the watch world, watches that fetch sometimes double the retail price just because it's supply versus demand. Now, this is a topic for a different conversation, perhaps a different video, but just goes to show, guys, if you do enjoy something, grab it before it's gone. Thanks so much for hanging out here with me today on the topic of discontinuations. If you guys enjoy this topic, if you want to see a part 3 and a part 4, I have at least 10 or 15 more fragrances in the designers that I can do a part 3, and I can definitely do a part 4 with some niche discontinuations for you guys. So again, if you do enjoy it, leave me a like. If this video hits 500 or more likes, I'll definitely come back with a part 3 and perhaps a part 4. As always, guys, show your support regardless. Leave me a like, touch the subscribe button, of course, hit the little bell icon so you guys can be notified of my new videos that are often here on the channel. Whatever you choose to wear, choose it wisely and wear it well. I'll see you guys right back here with another video very soon. Take care.